Hello, welcome to Gentle Standing Yoga. We're going to start with our feet hip distance apart. So find where the bony protrusions are at the front of the hip. This is different depending on our own individual anatomy. And we want our ankles and our knees to be in line. So knees over the ankles, feet facing straight forwards. Nice and long in the spine. And there's a sense of a long line of energy. So there's a sense of this energy drawing upwards from the base of the body, from the feet, all the way up to the crown of the head. And it's as if you've got an invisible piece of string drawing the head upwards towards the sky. So the whole of the body is long and lengthened. The legs are engaged, drawing up the muscles just above the kneecaps, but the knees are not locked. So you're feeling strong in the legs, and this energy from the earth, from the ground beneath you, helps you to lengthen and lift in the spine and the upper chest. At the same time, the shoulders are moving back and down. So there's this broadness across the upper chest. So you might just want to breathe in and breathe out, drawing the shoulders back and down, drawing the scapula, the shoulder blades at the back of the body together to help with this breadth of the upper chest. Collarbones moving away from each other. And then externally rotating the upper arms to bring the palms forward into Hastasana, mountain pose. And then we're just going to play with the weight in the feet. So spreading the toes against the floor, feeling that engagement between the feet and the floor. And just taking the weight to the front of the toes as if you could slip a piece of paper underneath the heels. And then taking the weight to the heels. And you might be able to lift the toes off the floor, or just imagine you're lifting the toes off the floor. And then taking the weight to the right hand side of the right foot, the left hand side of the left foot. And then just coming somewhere in the middle of all these points and just drawing up the arches of the feet until you feel completely balanced, feeling centered. And we'll start with a gentle warm-up. So bending the knees, swinging the arms over to the right hand side, and then taking them round to the opposite side. Being mindful of any injuries in the shoulders, any previous shoulder operations. And if you know this warm-up's not for you, doing another gentle exercise that you know can just help to warm the body. But with this movement, it's almost as if the momentum starts to take us. We're bringing some mobility into the shoulders, into the wrists, into the knees here, warming up the body, ready for the practice. And if we can, we'll speed this movement up a little bit. You shouldn't feel any strain in the knees, so don't turn as far if this is the case, making sure that you bend the knee so that you're not overly straining in the knee joint. So speeding this movement up if that's possible for us. And then just as we sped it up, slowing the movement down. Until we come to stillness. And placing one hand on the belly and then the other hand on top of that hand. Thinking about our posture again. Thinking about drawing upwards from the earth, that lengthening along the whole of the spine, sides of the waist, shoulder blades relaxing down, back of the neck long, slightly dipping the chin, not forcing the chin down, but dipping the chin slightly to lengthen the back of the neck, and then just softly closing the eyes. or lowering the gaze if this feels more comfortable. And just tuning into how we're feeling right now. And then starting to focus in on the breath. So how are you breathing? We're not altering the breath in any way, we're just becoming aware of the breath as it enters the body and as it leaves the body. And with the hands resting on the belly, maybe we start to feel that as we breathe in, the belly naturally contracts outwards towards the hands. And as we breathe out, the belly softly draws inwards away from the hands. So as we get older, we often tend to breathe from the upper chest rather than taking a full belly breath. And if we can retrain ourselves to breathe all the way from the belly upwards, this can be really beneficial for getting oxygen into the body and improving overall health. Continuing with this awareness of the breathing, feeling the sense of the breath entering the nostrils and leaving the nostrils. And becoming aware of how on the inhalation, the rib cage naturally expands outwards from the heart center as we breathe in. As we breathe out, the rib cage softly contracts towards the heart center, softens inwards as we breathe out. Not forcing this movement, just becoming aware of the breath. And as we continue to be aware of the breath, just letting go of everything that has come before you up to this point today. So any to-do lists, any rushing around, just letting that go. Focusing in on the breath, in that sensation of the ribs drawing outwards as the breath fills the body with energy. And of the ribs softly drawing inwards towards the midline as the body relaxes on the out breath. As we continue to focus in on the breath, maybe becoming aware of a natural pause between the inhalation and the exhalation. Not forcing this, just drawing our attention to this. And then lifting the gaze, softly opening the eyes if you close them. Taking the palms back down to the sides of the body again. Externally rotating the upper arms. Hastasana, mountain pose. And then breathing in to take the arms up and overhead. So the arms are stretching straight upwards while the shoulder blades continue to move down the back. Fingers are reaching towards the ceiling. Drishti or gaze can be straightforward or, if comfortable, to the tip of the nose. If it feels comfortable, to slightly lift the chin. Breathing in here. And then breathing out to take the arms back down to the sides of the body. And then once again, breathing in, volcano pose. Strong in the legs, using that energy of the legs to stretch the arms upwards while the shoulder blades continue to move down the back. Lifting the gaze, drishti, to the nose if comfortable. Breathing out. Arms come back down by the side of the body. One more time, breathing in, lifting the arms up. Breathing out. And then taking the arms in front, bending the elbows like you've got an imaginary cardboard box. On the in-breath, drawing the elbows back. And on the out breath, gently pressing the base of the palms together. Anjali Mudra, prayer position, hands, lifting the elbows, lifting the collarbones. And this time, breathing in, expanding the ribs outwards, taking the arms up and round, and then placing the hands together at the top of the body. So I'm just going to lean onto the knees. So you're staying upright. I'm just showing you the hand position here. Breathing in and breathing out. Taking the palms back down to heart center, prayer position, hands. Breathing in to lift the arms up. Gaze to the thumbs or drishti to the thumbs if comfortable for the neck. Breathing out. Prayer position, hands. One more time, expanding the ribs, energizing the body. Feeling the breath, helping to lift the body on the in-breath and on the out-breath. Drawing the palms down. Good. We're now going to take one hand to the waist, the other hand to the waist. Thinking about our posture again, maintaining that sense of the feet being hip distance apart. And then we're going to breathe in and just lift the upper chest. Lift the upper chest, taking the elbows back. Drishti or gaze to the nose. If this is not comfortable for the neck, gazing forward, but just feeling like you've got an imaginary hand at the back, just pressing between the shoulder blades at the very top of the upper back. Breathing in here. Breathing out to straighten the spine once again. Good. And then we're going to do the opposite. We're going to create an exaggerated C shape with the spine. Interlacing the hands. If this is not comfortable, placing one hand on top of the other. Breathing in here as we lift the interlaced hands upwards, so that the wrists are in line with the shoulder blades. And then breathing out, we're going to create a C shape, bending the knees slightly. We're going to really try and press the back of the body, the back of the spine backwards. Stretching the back of the spine, feeling the back of the ribs move upon. And then breathing in, straightening the spine, taking the arms down. Then breathing in, taking the left arm up and breathing out as we stretch over to the right hand side, a nice lateral stretch here, trying to keep the body straight so that we're not tipping forwards or backwards, trying to keep the neck relaxed, and if possible, we're going to gaze downwards. But if this isn't comfortable, gazing straight forwards. Breathing in here, stretching the hands, stretching the spine, breathing out to increase the stretch member. Then breathing in, taking that arm up and overhead, breathing out and repeating on the other side. So breathing in, taking the opposite arm up and breathing out for a lateral stretch towards the left here. Trying to keep nice and open in the arm. Breathing in here to lengthen. Breathing out to move the arm down. And then stretching that arm upwards. And on the out breath, taking the arm down and just wiggling the shoulders a bit. Releasing any tension. Taking the arms back up again. I'm coming onto the knees just for purposes of demonstration, but you'll be standing straight upwards. And we're going to come to do an apple picking pose. So we're going to breathe in, bend that right elbow, stretch the left arm up. And breathe out, returning to center. Breathing in, stretching that right arm up, bending the left elbow. And just alternating like this, stretching one side, stretching the other. Helping to stretch and mobilize the shoulders, stretch the arms. Good. So you're remaining in standing. From here with the arms stretched outwards. Breathing in and breathing out to come to cactus arms. So lifting the elbows so that the elbows are in line with the shoulders. Scapular or shoulder blades moving together at the back of the body so the chest is nice and broad. feet hip distance apart. Breathing in here. And on the out breath, drawing those elbows together, taking the palms together, prayer position hands. Breathing in here, lifting the elbows so that the elbows are now in line with the shoulders. Breathing out to lower. And breathing in, back to cactus arms. And again, breathing out, prayer position hands. Breathing in to lift the elbows in front of the face. Elbows in line with the shoulders. Breathing out to bring the elbows down. Breathing in, cactus arms. Breathing out, prayer position hands. Breathing in to lift the elbows. Breathing out to lower. Breathing in, cactus arms. Breathing out, prayer position hands. And then just taking the elbows outwards again. Pressing with the feet. Breathing in. Taking the arms up and overhead. Taking the hands together, still staying standing up. Breathing out. Taking the palms back to heart center. Good. Now we're going to draw the belly button back towards the spine to help protect the spine. Breathe in. And as we breathe out, we're going to gently soften the knees slightly as we turn towards the right hand side. So the belly and then the chest and the head follow with the twist. Breathe in here. Breathe out as we stay in our right side twist and just relax the shoulders. Then breathe in and breathe out as we return to center, and then repeat on the other side. So you want a softness in the knees, so there's no strain in the knees here. Breathing in to draw the belly back towards the spine, and then using that out breath to rotate the ridgeline to the left hand side this time. Belly, chest, then neck and head, last thing to form. Breathing out here. Breathing in, lengthening the spine. Breathing out, actively softening the shoulders. And then on that in breath, drawing the belly back towards the spine, coming back to the center again. Good. And then just straightening the knees, taking the arms down again to mountain pose. Good. So we're going to do chair pose preparation. So you want to have your feet hip distance apart. I can demonstrate this first, and then you can follow me. So actually, I'll go to the side. So we're going to bend the knees. We're going to imagine that we're about to sit on a chair behind us, but we're not actually going to do so. So what's really important here is that you don't let the knees go in or out. You want to keep them in line with the ankles, moving straight forwards. And we're just going to sit for a moment, not like we're sitting all the way down in the chair. We can take the hands to the waist. So just imagine we're about to sit on a chair. So we're feeling strong in the quads. The inner thighs are engaged to keep the knees stable. Breathing in here. And then breathing out to straighten the legs. Come back to mountain pose. Straightening the spine, lengthening up towards the sky, and then giving the legs a bit of a shake. And then we're going to repeat this again. So we can all do it together now. We haven't already done so. Breathing in, breathing out, bending the knees, imagining we're about to sit on a chair, keeping nice and strong in the quads, the upper thighs, making sure that the knees are moving straight forwards. And then if we want to, we can bring the palms to prayer position. So like this, like so. So we don't want the knees coming too far forwards. We want to still be able to see the toes. Breathing in here. Breathing out to lengthen the spine, taking the palms back down to an active mountain pose. So we'll do this one more time, and we'll continue with doing the chair pose prep, or if you want to, you can sink a little bit lower. So just work with what's right for you today. So with all the poses, just be mindful that this is gentle yoga. You might feel engagement in the muscles and a bit of stretch in the muscles, but you should never feel an intense sensation or any pain. So please modify or miss out movements as appropriate. Okay, so breathing in here, breathing out, bending into our chair pose prep again. So we're not going that low, it's just a slight bend as if we're about to sit on an invisible chair. And then if we want to, we can take the palms to prayer position. And then this time, if we want, we can sink a little bit lower. But if this doesn't feel right, just stay higher up. The main thing is that the knees are tracking straight forward and they're not moving over the top of the toes. So you don't want to be overly straining the knees here. Making sure that the pelvis is tucking under to lengthen the spine. And then breathing in here, lengthening the legs upwards, taking the arms down again, active mountain pose. Lengthening throughout the whole body, spreading the toes, lengthening through the sideways, lifting the crown of the head up to the sky. And then shaking the legs a bit, shaking the arms, loosening any tension here. Good. We're then going to take the feet a bit wider than hip distance apart. And we're going to have the feet slightly pigeon-toed. It doesn't matter if the legs are not as wide as mine, but we want them wider than hip distance apart. And we're going to have the feet slightly pigeon-toed, and what that means is that the toes are facing inwards slightly. And then we're going to really press into the little toe side of the foot. So pressing into the little toe side of the foot. And we're going to really draw upwards from the sides of the feet all the way up the legs towards the hips. So the whole of the leg is activated. But again, you don't want to be locking the knees. You feel like the whole of the legs are working, but the knees are not locking. From here, breathe in, breathe out, and take the arms out to the side. Engaging the triceps, the muscles under the arms, drawing the triceps upwards towards the bone. Breathe in here and breathe out as you turn to gaze over the right fingers. So drishti, which means focal point or gaze, over to the fingers. And breathing in here, taking the arms up and overhead. You can't see my hands, but I'm drawing the palms together. So drawing the palms together if possible, otherwise stretching the arms up above the head. Breathing out, Anjala Mudra, prayer position hands. And breathing in, still pressing the outsides of the feet and feeling this external rotation of the inner thighs so that there's a movement in the hips here with the legs. Breathing in, breathing out to gaze over the opposite hand, trying to keep the hands level. And then breathing in here, lifting the arms up. Breathing out, prayer position hands. And then taking one hand to the waist, the other hand to the waist, keeping the legs where they are in this wide leg pose. We're going to come to a wide-legged Arder Hastasana. So that's a wide leg half forward fold. So we want the weight to be in the heels now. Breathing in, lengthening the spine. And on the out breath, we're coming forward from the hips. So we're not bending the spine here. The aim is to have a straight spine and to come forward from the hip. So we're just coming forward a small amount. It's fine if you're not coming forward as far as I am. Drishti or gaze to the tip of the nose or down to the floor, but keeping the neck long. Breathing in here. And when you breathe in, feel a sense of lengthening from the sacrum, the very low point on the spine, all the way up to the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, relaxing into the fold. This might be a very small movement for you. We're aiming to come to a right angle, but we don't need to come that far. We just need to do what works for our body. Drawing up strongly through the legs. Feeling like the hip points are narrowing. Breathing in, breathing out to soften. And then breathing in, drawing the belly back up towards the spine to protect the spine. Slowly coming up to standing. Good. And then drawing the left leg to center, the right leg to center. Giving legs a good shake. Breathing in to take the shoulders all the way up towards the ears. Breathing out to move them back and down. Good. And then taking the left hand over to the right thigh. Taking the right hand, and I'm just turning for purposes of demonstration, and placing it around the back of the body. Breathing in here, lengthening upwards. And then breathing out, bending that left knee and coming onto the toe of that left foot as we twist in the opposite direction. Breathing in to lengthen the spine. Breathing out to use the press of the hand on the leg to maybe increase the twist a little bit further. And then on the in-breath, drawing the belly in, returning to center. Placing that foot down, pressing with the feet, breathing in, taking the arms up overhead, palms together if comfortable, breathing out, arms come down to heart center, and then repeating on the other side. So taking that right hand over to the left thigh, taking the left hand round the back of the body and just resting it at the back of the opposite hip or wherever is comfortable. Breathing in here. Bending that right knee, taking yourself onto the toe of that right foot. Breathing in, breathing out to turn and to try and gaze towards that left hand shoulder. Breathing in here to lengthen, trying to keep a softness in the shoulders. Breathing out, continue to twist. The belly initiates the twist, no strain in the knee. Breathing in here to lengthen. And draw the belly back up towards the spine. As you return to center, prayer position hands. Deep breath in, lifting the arms up. Breathing out. Prayer position hands. And then just doing a counter twist one way and then the other way. And returning to that movement that we did at the beginning of the practice, but making sure that it's nice and slow now, so we're not speeding it up. Keeping it slow, keeping it soft. And then coming to complete stillness. Drawing the palms together, pressing with the feet, once again breathing in. Taking the arms up, and this time, as the arms come down, softly closing the eyes. Taking the palms then away from each other, allowing the hands to relax, the palms to be soft. And although we're standing, feeling relaxed in the legs, relaxed in the feet, feeling like the ground, the feet, completely supported by the earth. The shoulders are soft, the belly is released and relaxed. Pelvis is open and soft. Shoulders melt down the back. Face softens. The jaw releases. Even the top of the head feels like it's spreading and relaxing. And now we enter Shavasana, relaxation pose, most important.